I work in the Floyd County school system, and what's great about this grant is it's able to integrate all content areas. So outside my classroom is a beautiful courtyard right here. And before writing this grant, I was just saw that it was just wasted space. As you see, it's wasted space. It's not being used for anything. There's never students out there. And so with COVID regulations, I wanted to do an outdoor classroom, but a school garden is an outdoor classroom, but you actually have something to do and plan lessons around. So my hope is that my students would be more engaged and invested because it would be something of their own. It is also my hope that my school could create a stronger partnership with our community as a result of this project. As it develops, I could see a connection for my entire school community. So my vision down the road, and this may take a few years, is that the whole school is involved, the community is involved, because at my school, that's a big area of improvement that we need is community and parent involvement. So my plan of action was to get the materials and have a project outline. For the materials, I wanted wooden plant boxes, soil, and other planting necessities. I also wanted books that would help align the curriculum and the content to the garden directly. During this project, my students would research, plan, and implement the strategies necessary for planting, caring, and harvesting plants and crops that are a part of our area's culture. Through this experience, my students will learn about different types of food that are grown in our region, the planting and harvesting process, and the economic impact that a garden can have. Aside from our social studies and science standards, we would also use this garden to cover math, reading, and language arts standards. So every standard area that I have as a first grade student teacher will be covered in this garden. I titled this project Sustainable Learning because this is a sustainable project with lasting effects. Here are some of the materials. So you see right here, this is a professional development book for myself, How to Grow a School Garden, Complete Guide for Parents and Teachers. I actually bought two of those because one of them focused primarily on upper grades. So I needed both to kind of pick and choose how to develop my primary, because that's probably the grade level I'll be in for the next few years, hopefully. We'll see. So my plan of action was to order materials from October to December, which I was able to accomplish. January to April, I wanted to plant, harvest, and provide that content integration.
Robert and Hannah Prater, come to the back.
I apologize about the announcement. So that did not go as well as I had originally planned. We did not get to plant and harvest. We're actually starting that now. But we did get to do our research of harvesting and planting and different plants in our area. So I did get to accomplish some of that, just not the way that I had originally envisioned. In May, I want to reflect and evaluate and prepare for next year. So how I evaluated this project and how I'm going to continue to evaluate it, because this is a project that I'm going to continue to do for the next few years, hopefully forever, we'll see. I would measure this through comparing engagement and performance ratings from the days we are working in or for the garden to the days that we are not working within the garden. So there's no work in connection to the garden. I would also compare comprehension and mastery of the standards used in connection to the garden from this previous year when no garden work existed at all to this upcoming year with the implementation of the garden. I would also give my students surveys.
Robert and Hannah.
It says how they feel about our work in the garden. So here's our pictures. Here's some of the books we're using just as book studies for that content integration, language arts, writing, reading skills. There's some math skills in there too. This hay wall is in connection to the social studies standards. How can we better improve our communities? And here are our plant boxes that we're starting. So here's the fall parent survey that I did, and I asked them, how has your child felt about assignments and instruction this year? So this was in the beginning before we ever had an idea that we were going to begin a garden. So you see, some of them didn't enjoy it at all. Do you think your child would enjoy school more if they had the opportunity to work in a garden? The majority, 82.4%, said yes. Spring survey. So this was done a few weeks ago. Does your child enjoy working outside? 100% yes. Does your child enjoy school more when they get to work outside in our garden? 100% yes. So they're going home and they're talking about the garden. They're excited to come to school.
Caitlin.
So if you watched the video on my last grant, Making Sense of Reading, you saw that I really felt like our assessment results could have been higher and improved more within reading instruction had the attendance of the school year been better. So I'm hoping that this school garden can impact attendance for next year. Conclusions and observations. Engagement increased on the days we were outside working in relation to the garden. Students had an increased sense of pride and ownership in our work and assignments related to the garden. So students are excited to come to school, they're engaged within the lessons. Therefore, assessments average of those standards connected to the garden, that work and those standards and those assessments had a score of above 80%. Those standards that I did not connect to the garden had an average of 68%. So due to COVID and other reasons, attendance, these students are well behind. My assessments have not been like on a normal school year. It's been pretty defeating, but it's hopeful to see what you can accomplish when you get students excited. And so what little bit of work I have got to achieve in the garden, it's been the light within a really tough year. So those conclusions and observations are something I can be proud of for this school year. So my next steps, I did not get to accomplish everything I had outlined. I think I was a bit over ambitious when I originally wrote this grant and had plans in my mind. And there were a lot of things working against me, but work for the next school year will be closer to what I had originally outlined. Food planting, working with other grade levels, and other projects that I had envisioned will be accomplished this next school year because I already have my materials and it's going to start right from day one in August. I'm actually going to begin the work during summer school. So I'll be teaching the 2 sessions of summer school in June and July. And that's just going to keep me in the rhythm of the garden work, and it's just going to help me prepare for August. So me and my students just want to thank KVEC and their partners for this grant and the impact that it's already made. And I can't wait to see the real impact that it will make later on. Thank you.